Two members of the Ohio Valley infamous band Zane Run.
Welcome, guys. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
So, Scott here just got a 7-channel mixer in, so we can get your full band in here soon.
Nice.
But in the meantime, you want to give the rest of the guys a shout out?
Yeah, what's up, Ken, Jacob, Dean? Sorry you guys couldn't be here. They only had 2 extra chairs.
Kenny and I go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was there when, I'm not going to mention the name, but when I was playing in Matt's band, we got not banned. I wouldn't say officially banned from an amusement park, but if we ever go back there and it's the same entertainment manager, he's going to say shut it down. We're not going to come back.
He was familiar.
He was with us.
I'm going to have to ask him all kinds of questions now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kenny, he's been in the band for about a year now.
Probably a little more than that.
Yeah.
About a year and a half.
We had a guy quit on us in like the worst way. We had a show coming up and he was just like, I'm out, guys. So we just like, Kenny started off as like a fill-in and then we just kept him like a stray, I guess.
Nice.
We adopted him.
No, you're an OG, right?
Kind of.
Kind of.
So, the original 3 was Zeke, Dean, and Justin Rector. And then I used to play hockey with Zeke.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, trying to play again. I hadn't played in a band since high school. And he's like, oh, send me, this video or whatever. I sent him a couple YouTube videos of like Pink Floyd covers and stuff. And I came in the band when they were about 2 months old, so pretty much original, but yeah.
Did you go into the band just playing rock before that? Did you ever dive into country?
No, not really.
I'd never dove into country.
No, I was like punk and metal and,
You quickly realize there's a whole another world to the guitar you have to learn quick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've always kind of brought that kind of playing to us, though. I mean, I never really, I can't like chicken pick or any of that stuff. But I like to kind of stay close to my roots, even if we were playing. Like, even when we played country, I was still, I play a Tom DeLonge signature, and I just bought a new one today.
Nice.
So where are you from in the valley? And
I'm just from Wheeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about you?
Tiltonsville. Like
Okay.
10 minutes down the road.
You're right up the road.
Yeah.
So when did you guys like really start getting into music growing up?
I was probably like 3.
Oh, really?
3, 4, yeah.
Yeah, I was 7 years old. My grandma bought me a guitar at Moore's, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
And then I learned like just enough guitar to sing with, but not enough to be good at it. So like, I can like play chords and sing, but like that's about it. That's all you get.
Yeah, I have a hard time playing bass and singing. I can play drums and sing.
I feel like that'd be harder.
That's what people ask me. I'm like, I don't know. Drums and singing I can do. The bass, especially. I mean, if it's just a simple, but like, there's no way I'm doing like a bass riff that everybody knows, like Brown Eyed Girl, and trying to do. My brain just is like,
you don't want to screw it up either.
Yeah,
it's something that everybody knows.
Right. So it's I can't do guitar and sing, but I can do drums and sing.
So you were a big metal guy too, then.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Like my first band practice with all the older country guys, I realized like nobody here cares if I can play any Pantera solo. Like, you know what I mean? Like I had just really quick.
It's funny because being that I'm older, I worked with this one guy. Shout out to Winston. He was just, it like blew him away that like, he was like, so like when you were growing up, like you were there like when Appetite for Destruction was released and when like Nevermind and Metallica's, and Justice for All. I'm like, yeah, that was my high school years. He's like, so like when they first come out, like you went and saw them live, like you really saw like them. And I'm like, yeah. And also tickets were like, a good ticket was like $45. It's not awesome. Like it is today. He was just flabbergasted. He's like in Pearl Jam and like everything. I'm like, yes, I saw it all released.
You lived it.
I did. Absolutely.
They said we were around for it, but we were, preschool.
Yeah, pooping ourselves.
Yeah. This is where I'm trying not to give you both the birds, but that's okay. I get it. I'm old. Like, I saw the first video on MTV.
What was it?
Video killed the radio star by the
That's
Buggles.
fitting.
Yeah.
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 I think they did it on purpose.
Oh,
actually.
imagine that, Doug.
Yeah, it was the first video, the original MTV VJs and all that. Yeah, so like I said,
And they haven't played one since then.
pretty much. Yeah, when it all started becoming TV and advertising it and reality shows, it went by the wayside.
It's all
which is sad.
ridiculousness
I
now.
was just gonna say it's
It is.
ridiculous.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous all the
It
time.
really is.
Making sure that noise gate's working on banjo outside. So by the time this airs, you guys will be gearing up to play Riverside, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Saturday the 22nd, July.
What time's that?
I think we go on 7 to 10. I think that's the time slot.
Yeah, give or take.
If I was a real musician, I'd know. I just kind of show up.
Dude, I don't know what any of our shows are.
Yeah.
I have to look at our Facebook page.
I'll ask my wife. I'm like, what do I have this coming weekend? That's what I have to do. I'll have a feeling in my gut something's coming up, and then I'll ask her to confirm. Yeah, so at Riverside, Derek Frizzy just bought it.
Okay.
And we were down there 2 weeks ago as Gage's band, and there might have been 300 people.
Really?
They built, so they had always had a patio. You said you played there a couple years ago?
Yeah, we were down
Yeah, we
there.
played there a few times.
Yeah, not last year, year before. Was the
We
last
usually
time
play
I
there
played
like once a year.
Yeah, they had like a deck in their side
Yeah.
yard that they used, and now they built a whole new patio that the band and different tables are on now, and it's huge.
Oh, sweet.
Now, where's Riverside? So people they don't know.
Powhatan.
Okay.
Yeah, Powhatan Point. And Derek Frizzy was also the guy that had Frizzy's Market in Bel Air and made those pepperoni rolls. So at the
Yeah.
end of the night, I was helping Tim and Doug clean up their equipment, and he gave me like 4 for the ride home. It was the best thing because it was 1 a.m. and Wendy's was past closing. I didn't have anywhere to go for
Oh
dinner.
man, that's all the places aren't open 24 hours
That's the
anymore.
worst. Is finding food after you have to go to Sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it.
that's it. Yep, sheets made to order. Can't go wrong with it.
So we have 3 new user submitted questions, viewer submitted questions. You want to
Okay.
tackle one? One's pretty funny.
Sure.
One's pretty funny.
All right. First one. If you were putting together a concert and had to choose your lineup based on 3 bands/singers you've worked with or opened for, what would the concert look like? This is from Tim and Barton.
So think back to the bands you've opened for, and if you had to pick your top 3 to throw a concert.
Ooh. I don't even know.
Who was the closer when you were at Jambo the day of?
Phil Vassar.
Okay.
It's probably him. I mean,
Yeah.
then we opened for the Lax a few times.
That would be
kinda-
cool. That's
their
like that
crowd-
rap country.
Oh, okay.
They bring a huge crowd.
Do they?
It's not really my cup of tea, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But the crowds are fun. I think we might have. I don't know who else we've opened for. I don't know, man.
I'm doing Crow Hardly.
Oh yeah, we could have local.
Oh, okay.
Too.
I'm doing Crow
Yeah,
Hardly.
it's on, or someday Saturday.
Someday Saturday.
Yeah.
And we're just throwing a big party.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And you don't have to
Yeah.
deal with any managers, and it's good to go. Just do whatever you want.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot better.
No managers needed fest.
No
We'll get it some.
managers allowed.
Yeah, we'll get it someplace where it's just an open field. People can pitch tents. We'll get a couple people with food trucks, and yeah, I say we do it. Let's do it.
Paradise.
Oh, yeah.
Basically an open field.
Paradise. Have you guys been to Paradise? in
Not
the
since,
hills?
not since. Oh no! I'm thinking Paradise up the golf course up the hill.
Yeah,
That's it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the one.
Oh,
Paradise
okay.
Hills. Yeah.
They recently got a new owner, didn't they?
Yeah, new
Okay.
owner. He built a stage.
Oh, okay.
It's outside. It's real nice.
We'll pop another question.
Sure.
You can read if you want. There's one that's real funny.
Okay. What bar/venue in the Ohio Valley would you have the best chances of meeting a local? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me change that back. What bar/venue in the Ohio Valley would you have the best chances of meeting local single people? This is from Unloved Penguin.
Yeah, so somebody sent in this question. And he's like, I want to be called Unloved Penguin on the show. And I said, well, I'm only saying your first name, so it'll be anonymous. She was like, no, I want to be Unloved Penguin. So
All right.
is for
Unloved
you.
Penguin. All right.
Well, I haven't been single since 2009. So
We actually host a traffic light party
There
at
you
Johnny's Bar like 4 times a year. I think the next one we're planning is in September. So Johnny's Bar in September, you walk through the door, you get a wristband. Green, you're single. Yellow is complicated. Red, you're taken.
Didn't you have me make a graphic for that?
Yes,
you had
I
to,
did.
You had to explain it to me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what is
Yeah.
this?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like one hand is you're single, it's complicated, you're taken.
Well,
and
you
then
pick whichever one you have.
and then the other arm, is it like the high school rubber bands where like
Yeah.
you put the colors on and whatever color that's the
That's what
certain
you're
stuff
into?
you'll do?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, yeah.
Could you imagine you on Facebook and seeing your girl out at Johnny's with a yellow band? You're like, what's going on?
Or worse, or a green one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
No.
Of
course it did.
The girl, her boyfriend came later on in the night, and he's like, "What the hell?" And she's like, "I just wanted free drinks." So
That's
I was
fair.
like, okay.
That's fair.
Well, at least I respect that she was honest about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if she wasn't, I mean, I wouldn't, if my wife, I wouldn't be happy, but at least I respect. She was like, listen, I was just, abusing dudes. Okay. Listen, you do you, boo.
So, Doug, you want to plug that Facebook group for us?
Oh,
that
yeah.
I recently just joined Ohio Valley Entertainment.
Yeah. So I got real annoyed with my friends who are DJs getting like kicked off these other groups because they're DJs, and I was just like, what's it matter? Like, if Zane Run is playing a show and you would rather go sing karaoke, then we're doing something wrong, right? I feel like that's the thing. So I feel like no DJ is going to take away from us.
Right.
Right, yeah.
Oh, is that why they were
That's
getting
how
kicked off?
a lot of people work, so
Really?
they weren't live bands.
Oh,
And me,
gotcha.
I get bored a lot, so I wanted to I want to know everything going on
Yeah.
Right.
on the weekend because I never stay home. So I
You
was
did
like,
one night.
Yeah, yeah.
You
One
did
night.
No, but like you said, that's a good point because like if people are going to do what they want to do,
Right.
and if they want to go hear a DJ and shake their ass on a dance floor, they're going to go do that.
And I hate to say it, but right now it seems like on a Saturday night, everything's an acoustic act that you're seeing in the Ohio Valley.
Yeah.
And rarely there's bands that are scattered in, but like on a Saturday night, when I'm 10 Jaeger bombs in, I want to feel like the kick in my chest. I
Yeah.
don't want to go
Yeah.
see an acoustic act. And a lot of the acoustic acts are done by 10 o'clock.
Yeah. After COVID, it really changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it changed the
So-
whole landscape of the way stuff's set up. So
I liked having a group you could go see who's DJing because they're staying out.
Mhm.
And that
Yeah.
gave you something to do. But
And plus, with like kicking off karaoke, there's a karaoke crowd that just goes to karaoke. They're not.
do.
Yeah. And,
You do a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's like a crowd that exclusively goes to karaoke and doesn't want bands. That they're not going to impede on like any of your fans
Right.
by putting them out.
right,
that's actually how I decide, like, in Zane Run, when we pick a song,
Oh,
like
you
we
cut- yeah, you-
bring it to
He
the
auditions
table.
it at karaoke.
I do. I audition
See how
at
it does.
karaoke. And if it's a dud at karaoke, I don't want to sing it for Zane Run because it's
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
so it's kind of one of those things.
That's
But
a good way to do it, though.
Yeah. It's
It's really good, actually.
Well, see now that's
that's-
why you got to come out and do karaoke with the 2x4s because it's like you got a band with you.
When's the next one?
It'll be the last Friday in July. We are at the Black Sheep.
In August, yeah.
Yeah, last
Okay.
Friday in July and August we're at the Black Sheep. So, yeah, there you go. You got a guitar player, drummer, bass player. So it's really you're really
I
getting
didn't have
into
one
it.
of those already. But no, yeah, that sounds like fun. I mean, I've never done like live band karaoke.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
It's really taken off, and a lot of people. I mean, it's taken off great for us. But even places that we played, like the last place we played, Barton Trap, people like they weren't sure. They hear live band, and then once they see it, then they're like, "Oh yeah, I want to get up there." And naturally, later in the night when the liquid courage gets flowing, you get more people up there, and it's
Yeah.
just. But yeah, it's really it's been so much fun doing it.
I actually gained a following doing karaoke.
Yeah, you did.
I have it's so funny to me, but my roommate Aaron Pozar and I would go to the all these like dive bars, and he would do the song from Beetlejuice, and I'd start a conga line.
Would he dress like Bob Ross?
Yeah, all the time. Well, no, he looks like Bob Ross.
Every year for Halloween, he goes as Bob Ross and he wins like every Halloween contest.
We were in Columbus.
Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't he at that Halloween show we played last year?
At Lumberjacks, yeah.
Was it
No. My Way Cafe.
My Way,
It was
yeah.
My
Those
Way.
are
My Way.
He is at everything.
It had to be him.
It's going on.
We're
If it's happening around the area, he's there.
we're in
Nice.
Columbus, and we're only supposed to be there for one night. Ended up staying all weekend, and we didn't have a costume. So he went to the store and bought a blue button-up shirt and a paintbrush and won a costume contest. Like, it was ridiculous.
He's won several.
Yeah. So we start doing these conga lines. Everyone starts knowing us. We do Fight for Right to Party, have the whole thing like set up, and then after a while, we were playing Party on the Plaza 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody stops me and jokingly was like, "When are you getting up there?" And I said, "After this band." They're like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Yeah, Zane Run's playing." They knew me from karaoke. They had no idea I was even singing with Zane Run. I was like, "Well,
My guitar fell off that stage that night.
yeah,
Oh.
it did."
It's got a big rash on the top of it. Oh, well.
I'm not even
It gives it character.
Yeah. I'm not even a guitar player, and that makes me sick.
Actually, I think Ken knocked it over. Because it
No.
was on like a stand.
Blame it on Ken when he's not
wasn't
here to
there-
defend
he wasn't there
himself.
for you.
No,
But-
he was playing before us with the ladies. I think Kenny might have knocked it over. Maybe not. But I know he was around because that's when I met him because my
Damn it,
guitar
Kenny.
went and fell down and I'm like, damn.
We'll get Kenny on soon so he can give his side of the story.
I don't know if it was
This is
him.
where we have to insert.
But-
we have to insert that little sound. You killed Kenny.
Yeah.
But our other guitar player at our last show in Shady Side, he dinged up Kenny's brand new bass.
Oh yeah.
Like they kind of
Oh,
it was a stage like smaller than this room,
Uh-huh.
and like they, ran into each other. And
Yeah.
Kenny it's like a month old, maybe a couple months old, brand new bass, and it's like a deep red like that.
Mhm.
It's a
Yeah.
little lighter than that, and Jacob nicked the clear code, and he still feels bad. And Kenny's like, I just want to mess with him.
And you can't kill the magic of podcasting. This studio is huge. I mean, just
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
know, I know you said smaller than this venue, but no, this we got all kind of room back there.
yeah.
That's where the audience sits behind the soundproof glass, so we don't hear them.
No mics on them either.
No. They're just here for pure
We'll
entertainment.
have to get a live audience track to add it now. every time we make a joke.
All right, next question.
Yeah,
All right, you want to read it?
sure.
I read 2. That's not fair.
This is from Janet in Martins Ferry, a real name. One piece of advice for Unloved Penguin is if you're using the apps like Tinder and your name is Unloved Penguin, maybe that's one of the reasons you need to, you're looking for single.
Yeah, I think if you're going into Tinder with Unloved Penguin, you're already got 2 strikes against you.
I think I swiped left. Now that you figured it on.
All right. What is one piece of advice that you would tell your younger self before performing for the very first time on stage?
Oh,
Wear ear protection or tell them to turn the monitor down because I'm getting affected by it now.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get that right.
huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been on in-ear since day one with Zane Run.
I'd have to make the switch.
And I remember one show, we did our own sound and we had monitors. We filmed a music video. It was our second show ever.
Mhm.
And it was at Frank's Bar, like up past Steubenville.
Oh, out in
It was tiny.
out in Bloomingdale.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just right up a hill.
Yeah, I know
No,
exactly.
the one on 213.
I don't
Oh,
know.
Frank's. Okay, yeah, that's right. The
Yeah,
one on
yeah.
213.
It's right off the-
It's-
it's
yeah,
right
now it's
off the
called, now it's
highway.
called the pub at 213. Yeah, okay, I know
yeah.
where you're at. Yeah.
So that stage is very small
Right,
too.
right.
And I'm standing stage left and I have a crash cymbal right here.
Mhm.
I couldn't hear for like 3 days. I'm like, I'm never not using in-ears
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, hearing protection I would say is huge.
Yeah.
I know
And-
it's kind of a buzzkill thing to talk about, like, oh, look at, if it's too loud, you're too old, right? But at the
Yeah,
same
that's-
time, you
Right.
can't hear.
Yeah, because like young me, 21-year-old me was like, Angus Young never wore like
Yeah.
earplugs or something.
Exactly.
Then look at
That you
yeah.
know of.
Yeah,
That's just
right.
it.
The first show I ever played was on accident. It was seriously where I was there to see my friend's band, and the opening act didn't show up. They got caught up. So
What'd you just play acoustic?
No, my the buddy who was playing in a band, me and him had like a 2-piece thing that we just messed around with at the apartment. Nothing at all. And he goes, "You want to play?" And I was like, "I don't have my guitar." And one of the guys was like, "Use mine." So I was like, "Screw it, let's do it." So
Nice.
I had 10 minutes notice that we're due. So we had no set list or anything. And I was just like, "Okay, let's do this song next or whatever." So my advice would be, know you're going to play a gig.
Yeah.
That would be.
And another one is make sure you can hear everything you need to hear.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
even if it
Don't
takes
be shy.
Even if it takes a little longer in sound check, it's worth it because, for how many years Jacob couldn't hear what he was playing. He couldn't hear himself for like 3 years, and then like he got in here, he's like, "Oh, I could finally hear myself play." And I'm like, "What?
How did you do that? How do you do that?
I don't know."
I would probably tell my younger self, it's not that important to get this sick over.
Yeah.
Like nerves and tied up, and you're playing for a small dive bar. You're not opening at Heinz Field.
Right.
And even the mistakes that you notice,
Calm
nobody else
down.
notices.
And that's so true. So it'd be like, not sounding rude, but just tell, hey, nobody cares.
Yeah.
It used to drive me nuts. Like if I played really bad one night and someone's like, "Oh, great show," and I'm like, it used to drive me nuts. But now I'm thinking like, nobody hears what we hear. Mm-hmm. I can't even like my wife always says. So she's like, "Can't you just listen to a song and not talk about how the kick drum sounds or like the guitar tone or what the snare sounds like?" I'm like, I wish I could.
Doesn't matter if there's 5 or 5,000. You give those 5 people the best show they ever seen.
That's what I've always said. Like,
Yeah.
treat every show like you're
at
Madison Square Garden.
And that resonated. And then it didn't matter if I looked out and saw 5 people or we were playing, but it wasn't when we were playing Blame My Roots. I mean, it didn't matter. Like it just you put the same effort into it, but I still get to that like you do. Like if I hit an off note or something, I'm like, "Oh man, I messed up. I'm really sorry." And they'll be like, "You did? We didn't hear it." So that's huge that you're the only one that really knows your mistakes, unless you're playing completely out of key for the whole song.
Or unless you're the vocalist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times you send the recording back. I'm like, "Man, we need to ditch this song. This is not for me."
Yeah, people notice the vocal mistakes more than they notice anything else.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and you'll have people that sometimes they'll be hard, especially on vocalists. Like, "Well, you didn't sing that right." Well, I'm not so and so. Like you
be like, "Why don't you want to do it?"
That's
better?
it. I mean, maybe you're just doing your own take on it, and or maybe it just like I know there's songs that I used to sing that I didn't have the range, so instead of going like really really high, I take it where it was all right, but you can go high enough. I can't hit that note,
Well,
but I know
everybody
that
could be Freddie Mercury.
That's it. I know I can't hit that note, so I'm gonna just I'll sing it to where it sounds good, but it's oh well.
You got to play it off, hold the mic to the crowd, and then it's their job to do it, and you're just getting the crowd interacting. Like that's just play it off like that.
I did that night when somebody requested I did "Lips of an Angel."
Oh yeah.
Thank God we had an amazing crowd, and like I said, there's and I knew that I couldn't hit those. So same thing. I just kind of, as I started out, I just leaned back, but you heard the crowd pick it up, and you're like, "Okay, I'm good." Nobody knows any different.
It's funny. I saw a video on TikTok the other day of Tom DeLonge singing, and everybody's ripping on him like, "He sounds terrible." I'm like, "Well," someone was like, "I'm sorry. Did you think that he was Freddie Mercury in a previous life?"
Yeah.
He's perfect for that band.
He can't even say head correctly.
No, he says Yed.
Yeah.
Side note, that was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah.
When we went last
Yeah, we
month.
went to Blank.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like
Perfect.
yeah.
Really?
All right,
It was
well,
a religious experience.
since you brought it up, what's the top 3 live bands that you've ever seen?
Coheed and Cambria, 100%.
What is it?
Oh,
Coheed and Cambria.
Oh, okay.
yeah. That'd be good.
Probably Slipknot. Slipknot was cool. And believe it or not, probably Katy Perry. Her band was amazing. I went with my wife. That was one of the best. That was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Let's keep my chair really.
Shut up.
Listen, you can't deny it. You can't.
It was
when
like
you see
it was like going to the Arrows tour, whatever year it was.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
the biggest tour in the world. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Her band was so tight.
So I got to put Korn, killed it. That was an awesome show. Guar.
Guar.
How do you not? Yeah, how do you not?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a state. I mean,
Have
it's
you
a
ever
whole.
been? Have you guys
I-
been?
no,
You
I-
have
I've
to
seen
go.
clips of it, but
Yeah,
I've
you
never.
have to.
I
Go.
couldn't tell you one Guar song.
I
can't
don't think
either,
people
but-
in
Okay.
Guar could tell you a
Yeah,
Guar
probably.
song.
Yeah.
I've listened to them play a cover of "Foreplay" by Boston, like before a long
Oh.
time. It was really good.
Where'd you see Guar?
Pittsburgh. They come.
Really?
Yeah, every couple years they'll come around. We'll have to go to the next one because it's
All right.
it's a life changing experience.
We'll just stand back from the
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
And
It's,
then Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, he'd be awesome.
Like I
Scotch
saw
a song.
him. I saw him 2 years ago, I think. Or no, it was 2019. It's on 2019, and he was just by himself. There was no band at all.
Right.
And he just
That's cool.
And he had his loop pedal, and he like literally built the song from the ground up. It was like the coolest thing to watch.
we just saw him this past Saturday, the 8th, at Accushore, and I'm a Ed Sheeran fan. Like, you know, even my wife will like on some of the songs where he raps, and I knew every word. She just kind of looked at me like, "Who are you?" And, but
Good.
it was like being a fan and then seeing that show was, I mean, the stage was phenomenal. And like you said, he gets up there and he tells them, he's like, this is nothing's, there's no backing tracks. This is live. I'm doing everything right here. I do this. He shows the looping pedal real quick. And the man never stopped for 2.5 hours. Fireworks, pyro. I mean, it was definitely, yeah, it was up there.
That's cool.
It was, yeah, I was very, very impressed. And it was fantastic. And then absolutely, I saw Pink Floyd at Three River Stadium. So
Seriously?
yeah,
What year was that?
1989.
So post Roger.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, you got to see. I'm so jealous. You got to see David Gilmour live.
I know.
That's like
Yeah.
a bucket list.
Yeah.
He's my like biggest inspiration, to be totally honest.
Yeah, I'm a
can see
huge Pink Floyd fan. I
I love him.
him.
I think I've got 10 Dark Side T-shirts. Whenever I see a cool one, I'm like, oh, it's different.
I got an original 1973 first press of Dark Side of the Moon on
Sweet.
vinyl. It took me forever to get it. I mean, I could have got it, but I would have paid like $300-400 for it.
yeah.
But I finally grabbed one, and it was, yeah. And like we had talked about this on another podcast, like growing up in the 70s and the 80s when vinyl was the thing, and you had the headphones on, you hear that needle scratch. So to get that Dark Side of the Moon album again and hear that, and it just, man, it takes you back. So your top three.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers I watched
Ooh.
at the Shaw Steam, but it wasn't with Frusciante. It was
That what was his name?
Klinghofer or something.
Klinghofer,
Yeah,
yeah.
so he did a good show.
Jacob would know. He's a huge Chili
Yeah.
Peppers.
Yeah, it was.
What's his first name? I don't know. Whatever.
I saw the Chili Peppers with Dave Navarro playing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
For one hot minute.
Yeah.
Leonard Skinner put on a really good show at Jambo, but it wasn't like the original lineup. It was.
Yeah, if you wanted to see the original lineup, I think you had to go back before 1972.
Yeah, it's like Leonard Skinner. It's like Leonard Skinner 4.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I would say definitely Red Hot Chili Peppers, probably Leonard Skinner, and then probably Metallica. I saw them Death Magnetic tour in Cleveland, I think.
Nice.
I don't know if it counts it if I saw the concert because I was working it, but the Eagles' Hell Freezes Over.
Oh, the acoustic tour.
Yeah, I worked both of those shows. Both of those shows when they played Starlight.
That's cool.
Like they weren't playing the big arena. They played Starlight. It literally was right there in the pit.
I grew up in the Warped Tour days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool.
Dude, you pay like $25 for a Warped Tour ticket and see like 50 bands.
Right.
I met
Right.
Avenged Sevenfold and had no idea who they were.
Right.
It was right before City of Evil came out.
That's when they changed their style.
That's when I mean, I liked Waking the Fallen,
Hmm.
but City of Evil.
I love
mean,
it. That's
they
one of
just-
those perfect albums in my
It's
opinion.
great.
I love it.
I met them. I caught Gerard Way's water bottle.
Nice.
Did they try to redo Warped Tour for like a year?
They did like, oh, it was a few years ago. They did like 4 or 5 like concert, like stops.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
it
then they
wasn't,
did that
like,
when we were-
nationwide. It
Yeah.
was just like
No, they did that when we were Young Fest.
That's
out in
right. That's the
Vegas.
one I was
Yeah.
thinking of. Yeah.
That looked awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was Warped Tour. That
It
really
was Warped Tour. It was the
Mhm.
greatest hits of Warped
It
Tour.
was just like a one-off.
Yeah. We got lucky with our Blink tickets
We
because
did. We're on the floor for like what, $150 or?
I think they were like $70 each.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we
it's
got
nice.
them. We got them for retail. No,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
sitting there. I had a browser open on my phone. I had a browser open on my iPad. I had a virtual machine at work on one screen, and I had a regular browser on my other. So I was just going all four of them at once, trying to get it.
I think anymore, like companies will have like an AI program ready to just buy hundreds of tickets, like as soon as that would
Yeah,
open
you
up.
get. I think that's
Play
what it
with
is. I
them.
think SeatGeek, StubHub, all. I think they just suck them all up and then just
Yeah.
reap the
Yeah.
rewards, and that's. And again, like we said, I mean, you could be a huge fan of something, and you get to miss out just because now, like you said, even the cheap seats are $1,700.
I know.
Listen, I'm a huge Queen fan. If Freddie Mercury himself come back from the dead and did a tour, I still wouldn't pay $1,700 to see Queen.
I probably would.
No, Pop's got rent.
Listen, if
Christmas is coming. I'm sorry.
George Harrison and John Lennon came back to life, I don't think there's a limit on how much I would pay to see the original Beatles.
Yeah.
All right, what top band? What would you pay the most amount of money to see? A band from the past?
Beatles, Floyd,
Beatles.
or Pink Floyd.
Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park.
Ooh.
I'd go Stevie Ray.
Oh, Stevie.
Yeah.
Ray.
Yeah, Stevie Ray, or I'd want to see Ozzy with Randy Rhoads, but I saw Quiet Riot with Randy Rhoads
really?
playing. Yeah, and it just so I did get to see Randy Rhoads. I didn't know who he was at the time, and but yeah,
That's a Randy Rhoads signature V right there.
Sweet.
I would really like to see Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mean, that would just be, oof. Yeah, I probably would pay a lot for that one.
Those Randy Rhoads signatures, they're nice to look at, but to play,
Oh, dude, they're hard to play.
like the neck is so much heavier than the body, so it's always going down on it. And plus, like that cutaway, that the second V on it is like half the size, so there's no weight down there. So it's constantly rolling on
So
you.
I have one, but it's a cheap one.
Uh-huh.
One of my friends sold it to me. It was like $100, and I took the strap button and put it. Is that a set neck or a bolt on?
Bolt on.
Take a strap button and place it in one of the,
I do that.
and it doesn't neck dive at all.
Okay.
You got to play around which one you do it on.
Yeah.
I forget which one I did, but it
Okay.
doesn't do it at all now.
All right, so note to self: if you learn anything, you got to know which hole to put it in.
That's right.
Right.
Okay.
What's your go-to guitar that you would take on stage?
Probably that surf green Tom DeLonge signature.
Okay.
It's simple. It's got one pickup, one volume knob.
Mm-hmm.
And I just pre-ordered the graffiti yellow one today that Fender's re-releasing.
So you have the same guitar twice, just different
Yes.
color.
What about you?
Yes.
Your go-to guitar?
Oh, Les Paul.
Your Les Paul?
That
You know,
one, yeah.
I've got a standard and I hardly ever even play it.
Really?
It used to be my go-to, but like playing outside with Les Paul is just
It's hard.
you got to tune constantly.
I put Grover lock-in tuners on
Yeah.
that.
That's what mine.
They hold them pretty good except for that G string. It'll take a
well,
dive
it's because
on
of the
you.
way that nuts cut. They have that
Yeah.
string butler thing. Have you seen that?
Gage put one on his.
Does it help?
He said no.
Really?
Yeah, he said I was surprised it didn't.
Does he have a
said-
Gibson acoustic or is he
No,
Les Paul?
hollow body Les Paul.
Okay.
But he
That's
put that on because everybody said get a string.
Yeah, I've always heard those are
butler.
really good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I never spent the money on it then.
Yeah, he put a string butler on, played it like 2 shows, and was like, "I'm going to buy a Telecaster." He just gave on.
You can't go wrong with a Tele.
No,
Right.
you can't.
Now, what about as far as acoustic? What do you guys like acoustic?
None. I hate playing acoustic.
Really?
I just hate it.
Okay.
I always have. I don't know why. Just I bend too much. It just doesn't.
You play a Fender, right? Acoustic.
California series,
Yeah.
a Malibu. I used to play a Martin. It was a performer series, but the neck was so thin. It was like their first acoustic guitar, they said, for live performers, and they made the neck so thin. So like after like 2 years, it would just bend. Like every week, I had to get it readjusted. So
Actually, our first singer Zeke, he had a a Hummingbird, a Gibson.
Oh, I remember that one.
That would be my go-to. That thing was perfect. I even told him, I was like, I hate playing acoustics, but I could play this all day.
Yeah.
Or mic off, because that Martin he's got up there, I don't know if you
Okay.
ever played that. I don't know what it is, but it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Now you said you play acoustic. What?
Yeah, I have a
What's yours?
Taylor GS Mini.
Is it
Nice.
the Ed
But
Sheeran?
no,
his is Martin.
I went in to buy a Martin, an Ed Sheeran Martin,
right.
and I played this one. I like the sound better, but I avoid it at all costs. I just
you
don't
don't play
like,
it ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't like. I don't like playing it live. I don't like playing acoustic live.
He used to bring it out we play Running Down a Dream by Tom Petty, and he would bring it out just for the little strums in the chorus.
I played one chord 3 times. That's the only reason to have the.
And then we put it in the back, like we put it in the track, and he doesn't have to play it anymore.
Yeah, my 6-string is an Alvarez. I'm happy with it. It's not an acoustic electric, but I have a Fender mandolin,
That's cool.
and it's still sitting in the bag when I bought it. And the book on how to play a mandolin is right underneath it. I said even when I was off, like when I was laid off for COVID and stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna do that. And then when I was this past year going through treatment and stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna learn that mandolin, and it's still.
How many strings on a mandolin?
8?
Yeah,
8.
I think it's 8.
It's like it's like they got
It's like
4
it's like
strings,
it's like a 12
string.
string, but it's
got the
8
two.
strings. Yeah, it's still sitting there. It's beautiful. It's but
My coworker's got a 50s banjo or Gibson banjo.
really.
Like it was his dad's. That thing's awesome.
See, my dad's like that. My dad can play anything that has strings. I mean, he plays banjo. He plays 6-string, 12-string. He can play bass. And ironically, my favorite bass that I play is a fretless.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. He hates that thing. Hates it. He was like, "Don't ever give me this fretless to play." I love the fretless. I mean, like, yeah, my electric is a Fender fretless, and I love it.
Little Jocko.
Yeah. And then I got Ibanez as my acoustic bass, which I'm happy with. But
You know what? I need to rewind and take back my best band.
What's that?
I totally forgot that I've seen Dream Theater twice.
Oh, damn.
So we're gonna cut Katy Perry out, even though her band was killer. We're gonna put the.
it was
folks
just the
from
fact
Dream
that
Theater.
Katy Perry was
How do you
really.
forget you saw him twice?
I don't know. It happens. The one I just had shoulder surgery, and I didn't really remember it.
I saw him.
I think it's just the fact that it was eating at him that he's like, I'm gonna get so much crap for saying Katy
Well,
Perry.
as soon as you said the fretless, I remembered the second time I saw him, it was Jocko's birthday.
Yeah,
And what's the guy's name? John Myung, whatever their bass player is.
I think so. Yeah,
John Myung.
I'm not
He might be the
100%
keyboard.
sure.
I don't know. He did a tribute of a Jocko song on a fretless, like the jazz bass. He played jazz or a P bass?
He played a jazz bass.
Yeah, he brought like the signature model out and he played, and I was like, I forgot I saw Dream Theater.
That's like the one time somebody asked, our question was, who would you sing a duet with?
Not
Now-
James LaBrie.
My mindset went to, I said Taylor Swift because she's huge. You do a duet with her,
You're
a
set
hit.
for life.
they're gonna know.
Yeah.
That's what I was going with. The amount of feedback that I got, I mean,
Oh,
like
yeah, I was
of all the
about to say that
people, you said Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I was thinking like you'd be, and then I messed up. I was also thinking, which I'm not taking anything away from her. I was thinking the American Idol, and I said Kelly Clarkson, and I meant Carrie Underwood.
Well, same show.
Big difference. But still, I named 2 women, which there's nothing wrong with that. But the fact is when it was all done, I'm like, why didn't I say Chris Stapleton? Like, I love Chris. Why? And I got so much feedback, and
It's the nerves from that live audience you were talking about.
That's it. Yeah, I should have known when they all started cracking up when I said Taylor Swift. Everybody's like, "What?"
I
But
don't
if you were
know.
to duet with Taylor Swift, you'd probably be set
Nobody's
for
gonna know
life.
your
You
name.
would.
You'd be good
I
for
mean,
life.
you're not gonna, and that's what I was thinking. I was
Yeah.
like, "That's who I would do," because after that, people would know who
You would
are.
not have to work ever again.
Right. Yeah. So that was my mindset. But again, I respect the fact that you were like, I don't want to stick with Katy Perry.
Yeah, I kind of I don't know how you can forget about Dream Theater, but I should.
Right.
It happens.
Now on stage, every show, I'm gonna bring that up.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
Dude, her guitar player's flew through the air and had like shooting sparklers on the end of the guitars, and they were sword fighting, doing dueling solos.
So how do we get you and Jacob to do that?
Well, you need to buy me a new guitar first.
Yes.
I would guess probably have to have a track playing. While
Yeah,
else
yeah.
You could try with
Well,
that.
the other thing is too is
It was this aluminum guitar, the electrical guitar company.
Oh, really?
They were aluminum guitars.
Huh,
Anyway,
nice.
sorry.
no, it was just Jason Hook, who played for Five Finger Death Punch for years, was Mandy Moore's guitar player.
Was he really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, he was he's a hired gun.
Yeah.
So he did that for a while, and but like I said, you sit there and you think, there's Jason Hook. He's a phenomenal guitar player, and then when you hear that he was Mandy Moore's guitar player, and then whoever the other girl was, I forget that she did. Was it Lizzie McGuire or Hillary Duff? He played for Hillary Duff too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did have a little music career there.
Yeah,
for a minute.
and there's a documentary out, and it's called Hired Gun. It's fantastic. If you've never seen it, look it up and
I've
watch
seen
it. It's
I think I've
great.
seen it
And it talks, I mean, there's so many people in there that you never think that they were studio
Well,
musicians.
Steve Lukather,
Yeah,
studio musician.
Right.
I mean, he played the rhythm on Beat It.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, these people come out and you know them but you never knew that they were a studio musician.
I always thought that'd be fun to like get on like a tour with like some pop star and like just play stadiums every night.
Yeah,
I mean, most of the songs aren't complex. That was my favorite thing about moving towards country when we first started out, opposed to like metal, is I could run around and play chords and have fun and not have to sit there and be like, oh, I've got to do this. And it's like, we're not playing Periphery here. We're just playing Jason Aldean.
yeah. And that's, like I said, I played my dad's band. They played like all 50s, 60s, and I played drums for them.
That's cool.
And again, wasn't my music. I mean, it's just a lot of it is just standard 4/4 beat, da 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 da, and we'd put some kind of songs in there that I really get into, and but again, it was the fact that I got to jam with my old man.
Yeah.
Like, not too many people get to say that they get to. Again, that was that thing where like we might play in front of 5 people, or it might be 100 people at the county fair or whatever. But that was that fact that I'll never get that taken away from me, that I got to jam with my dad.
Yeah, that's
so that's and like you said, it was fun that way. I'm not gonna say that there weren't nights where I was just playing. I'm like, this is mind numbing.
Yes, it happens, and that's when you have to start changing your setup.
Yeah,
which is what we've been working on heavily.
Yeah.
Going back to what you said about like having like shows that are dead, it's very hard in this valley to determine like what your crowd's going to look like at the end of the night compared to like when you like walk in somewhere and start your set, because like this is a blue collar area, like everybody's getting off work. You start a set at like 8. For the first hour it might be nothing, and then all of a sudden it's like 10:30. You're like, how did this change happen?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we used to play like Generations. We'd play from 10 to 2.
Yeah.
You go on at 10, and there's like there's a crowd, but there's not. By like 2 o'clock, or 1 o'clock in the morning, you can't move.
It's a sea of people. Like you can't see the end. There's no room.
No,
it's
you just feed off of that energy.
yeah.
And again, I think that bullshit COVID stuff it just killed bars and local bands and stuff, because like you said, now, like, I don't know if it's just people aren't used to it, but like there's been times where like, can you guys play 7 to 10? Yeah, 8 to 8. I think 8 to 11 is the latest we've.
That's been our common thing now. 8 to 11.
Listen, I'm old now. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So Zane Run's doing it too. We're doing 7 to 10 gigs all the time. I don't mind it because I just go bar hop after. So
Right.
I'm out till 2 regardless, whatever the gig time is or whatever. But the only thing I need is a shower. So there's a lot of times I drive home, shower real quick, and then I'm out.
Yeah, it just and again, I'm like you. If we can load up all the gear and I'm home and in bed by midnight.
Oh, it's a great night.
Yeah, it's
One of the last gigs we had, it was 8 to 11. I remember, I won't mention the name, but everybody was stumbling around. We had one guy was screaming, "Somebody take me to Godfather's 3." He just screaming, "Somebody take me to Godfather's 3." And I told Scott, I'm like, if this was 9 to midnight or 10 to 1, it could have been bad.
Yeah.
Did he go?
Maybe.
Maybe
He might have got there.
We were too busy wrapping up.
He might have got there somehow.
But yeah, like I said, it's and the thing is that's why we try to tell people that, like, for us, it's better for us to play like 8 to 11 because people will get that liquid courage because it never fails. We play 7 to 10, and even 8 to 11 a couple spots. They'll be like, now the crowd's in it too.
Yeah, like 10:30.
Yeah. And you're like, we're done. Like and there was one time there was a guy, he was like, we were playing and he was like, what do you guys charge an hour? We told him, he just reached into his pocket, pulled it out. He said, play another hour. Okay, that's fine. We'll do that. But after that hour, then they're like, all right, dude. And my wife, like, not only does she sing with us, but she runs like the karaoke part of it. Like, people come up and put their name in with her. He was like, they got to keep playing. And she was like, they've been playing for 4 hours. They're done. Like, people just don't get that. Like,
No.
Like
What?
a 4 hour, and we had one break. It was like a 15, 20-minute break, but a 4-hour gig is a lot.
We play 3 hours. I counted the songs up. We play like 55 songs,
Right.
45 songs, and like my wife's always like, "How can you remember all those?" I'm like,
So to play off what you just said about your wife saying you remember all those songs,
yeah,
that's like the biggest compliment that I hear from people is that we don't use iPads.
yeah.
Like,
Kenny's got it on. He's got it on the floor now.
yeah, Kenny uses an iPad.
He more or less uses it for the key.
Yeah, Kenny uses an iPad. No one else uses an iPad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, which is tough sometimes because I'm like, what
Right.
lyric is next?
Well,
Crap.
well, you got to learn your own lyrics. We have our
Yeah.
cues and everything in our ears,
Yeah.
which we just went to Click Tracks and like cues and everything. What, like late last year?
Mm-hmm.
That has been a game changer.
Your drummer's okay with a click track?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Took a lot of adjustment, especially because
There's nothing worse as a drummer like, hey, we're gonna do this click track.
Oh, he was all
Hell,
for
we
it.
are.
He was all for it, and I mean, he worked really, really hard too because Dean had a stroke. When was that? September.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah, he had a stroke, so we weren't sure if he'd be able to play ever again.
that's amazing.
And now we're tighter than we've ever been using tracks. We have
Kudos to him.
he worked really hard.
Yeah.
He had a stroke, and was it?
It was around Oktoberfest, wasn't it?
But he had a stroke, and 3 months later we had a show. Because remember,
Wow.
we weren't sure if he was going to be able
Yeah.
to play the show, and I think
We had
he
Devontae
did.
lined up for
Yeah, we
backup.
had our friend Devontae, Devontae Brown. He was a great drummer, but I had him like listen to the song, starting to learn them just in case.
Yeah.
And then but Dean was able to play it. And,
We had a
Wow.
rehearsal like 8 days after he had the stroke.
I mean, trying to learn how to like hold.
He
the
was
stick
like
again and
just
stuff.
doing like kick
Wow.
and snare, but I mean like it was amazing.
Yeah.
The possibilities using tracks are just endless. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't want to abuse it
Right.
either.
Right.
Just, I mean,
Right.
But we have like organ and stuff like we need it or
Well, that's like with us
lot of
doing
percussion.
the acoustic karaoke. There's still the karaoke track that is playing.
it's for like
Our
Gotcha.
monitors will have the track and
Gotcha.
then the video monitor, and then through our fronts is like the instruments and whoever's
Oh,
singing.
So
with
we
us.
kind of like you said. So when you're singing, you're doing karaoke because you have the monitor and everything else. But when it goes out, like his guitar and my bass is up a little bit, so it's
that's cool.
still kind of like it's. So it's kind of like we have a backing track, but it's.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, we've discussed this that, especially for karaoke, like I DJ karaoke before we started this for years, and it's usually about the same 120 songs. I don't care where you go, somebody's going to sing Before You Cheat. Somebody's going to sing Friends in Low Places. Every once in a while you'll get a curveball that, a guy will sing like all this kind of deep country and then just come up and do Led Zeppelin and, rock it. But
Or
it's,
Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
Everybody's got
Yeah.
that. And nobody can probably do it.
and then you're always, you're always going to get the pack of 4 girls that girls just want to have fun. So, but I mean, like I said, it's the good thing is it's still, it's not frowned upon for us to have our because we'll pull up the sheet music just to make sure. But a lot of time, like this prodigy over here, his iPad could fall off the stage. It wouldn't matter. He'd play it like
Give me
we
a
played
key.
it 1,000
Yeah.
times.
Give me a
Yeah,
key.
and it's a
I
good
feel
time.
like for singers, like, because I see a lot of singers that use it, and it's just like a barrier in front of like the
Yeah.
audience, and it's real. So I don't even like having a mic stand.
Yeah.
Like I have my wireless mic and I like to run around and do whatever. And I think like that barrier, you kind of lose the audience a little bit. And like I'll see videos of people where like let's say like the microphone's here, they're singing into their iPad.
Yeah.
They're not even like looking
Yeah,
at the
that's
mic
it.
and
You
singing
gotta
into
remember,
it.
That's one thing you've never done is stand still.
No.
When so I use a modeler live. I use an Axe-Fx too.
Mm-hmm.
And recently I found out how you can do patch changes through MIDI.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the
that's
biggest
cool.
thing ever. I can be on the other side of the stage because I'm all wireless.
Mm-hmm.
The solo comes on. I don't even have to touch the board.
Yeah.
Nice.
I went an entire set, like the last show we played. I went an entire set without ever touching my pedal board.
Now, do you guys have a sound guy, or does somebody on stage run it?
We
we have
our
a sound guy.
Well, we
Okay.
have our own monitor rig. We have
Okay.
we have a Behringer XR18.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that
So our
runs
in-ears
ears.
our in-ears he runs.
You
But,
run the
like,
whole
Okay.
okay.
front of
That's
house.
nice.
Somebody else.
Basically, pretty much every time we just have to tweak here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we got a splitter, and then one side comes into our rip mixer and the ears, and then the other side goes to front of house.
Nice.
That's perfect.
And it's great.
I wish that's the one thing that I wish we had, because of the fact that like for instance, the last show we did sound check. Everything was great. And we start playing, and all of a sudden, well, you can't hear him, you can't hear her, you can't hear.
I never
And I'm over
understand
here
that.
kind of like adjusting, and I'm like, I don't get it. I'm almost maxed out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then like nothing will happen, and I'll be like, yo, I can't hear her, and I will literally look at the board, and I'm looking at it going, I don't know where, like my monitor said everything here, and I look around, and they're like, it's perfect. I didn't touch anything.
Yeah.
So
that's the hardest part about being a sound guy is when you're adjusting sound, it sounds really good where you're standing.
right,
But step 3 feet to the left or right, and it might sound
Yeah.
completely different.
right.
That's why a lot of the guys around here, like what's his name? Graham's son, Michael Graham.
Michael. Yeah.
He's always walking around with the iPad.
Yeah.
Like he'll be over
Everywhere.
here like, checking it.
Yeah, my next board's going to
He's
be a
great.
digital, so I can use the
Oh,
iPad.
that's sweet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice because we don't really have to do much at all.
Yeah.
There's not much sound check.
All right, guys. I think we hit that time. You want to do a little send off?
Yeah. Hey.
So,
again, thank you guys
Hal
for coming
Happy
in.
Point Riverside Restaurant. What day is it?
July 22nd.
July
Right.
22nd.
Yeah. So, I enjoyed having you guys in.
Check out High Valley Entertainment as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
That
Zane
Facebook
Run.
page. Yeah, and Zane Run, and
And then next episode, we'll get Kenny in here and see what he thinks about you accusing him of.
I don't know if he knocked it over, but I know he was there. I just remember he was there.
he was there. It's just
Yeah,
so
'cause
it's
he was
guilty
never
by
open.
association.
Yeah, we'll just
If you gotta
Kenny,
blame
you're guilty.
somebody, it's either the drummer or the bass player.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
that's
whoa! The guy that plays bass.